Hi guys, welcome back to the week 5 exam video lesson for Group Piano 2. So for the exam, this is all content that you've done previously in other units, but I'm just going to play it all through here for just one convenient place to find everything and give just a couple of general tips. So, as always, make sure that you're practicing and preparing well in advance. I would say that this exam really is not bad. There's really not much that's on it. So, if you give yourself plenty of time on each item, this would be a really easy exam to get a really great grade that's going to set you up for the rest of the semester and is going to, give you a nice boost on your semester grade to do really, really well on this exam. So, go through and make sure that on each item that you're practicing things hand separately, that you are practicing slowly, that you're paying attention to the finger numbers, key signature, all of that good stuff. And, especially for the exams and as you guys continue to progress as pianists, obviously we're not necessarily looking for everything to be up to like the perfect performance tempo, but, do be aware that on the exams, if things are too slow, like slow enough that it kind of maybe seems like you didn't practice very much, that there are going to be some points taken off for that, even if, notes are there and everything. If it's like a third of the tempo that's indicated, then it kind of seems like maybe that's because you didn't prepare it so much. That will result in some points being taken off. So just keep that in mind, that you definitely want to make sure that you are practicing with a good goal tempo in mind. Even, again, it doesn't need to be crazy fast or anything like that, but it does need to be at a tempo that it's like recognizable, the song. So I'll just go through and I'll just play each item for you, and if there's any relevant tips or things like that, I will include that as well. So going back to our Unit 17, we'll just start with the scale for this exam, which is our B minor scale. So just like with the F minor, almost all of this is the same as the Group 1 keys. The arpeggio is the same as the Group 1 keys, and in this case, the right hand fingering. We have that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like we had on all of the other Group 1 scales. In this case, the one that is different is the left hand because we start on 4. So you're playing 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? So just double check your left hand fingering for this example on the B minor scale, and the other ones are pretty straightforward. So here is the right hand, and I'll play it through, hands separately on the scales, and then the arpeggio, and that's just what you'll have to do for the exam. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Left hand starts on 4. 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right hand arpeggio. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 5. Keep that elbow pushing out. 5, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Left hand. 5, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 5. And that is the technique that you have for the exam. So now we'll go over the solo rep options. So the first option that you'll have is the Little Fantasy Study on page 191. So again, this is one, we went through in the first lesson, but let's go ahead and just go through a couple of quick little things. So if we look at the left hand, we notice that starting in the first measure, we're just going back and forth between an A minor chord and an A sus4 chord, which would be A, D, E. And then we reach down to that G sharp. And then if we go down and we look now over and measure 17, we see that exact same pattern starts over in the left hand right there. So that makes it a lot easier. And we also can see that starting in measure 1 with the right hand, we're playing this ascending figure. But when we get down to measure 17, it's doing the same thing, just now reversed, going down. Pretty simple. And then in the middle section, starting from measure 9 to measure 17, we're just going back and forth between an E major, A minor, A major, A minor, E major, E major, E major. So pretty simple if we really kind of get a grasp on those two main key areas that make up this song. It keeps it feeling really pretty simple. And again, so this one is marked vivace. A moderate tempo will be just fine, but if it's adagio, that might be a little bit of a problem. So just make sure that you can play this. The 16ths should feel like 16ths. They should not feel like quarter notes. So I'll go ahead and play it at, again, faster than you need to do it, but keep in mind that, it should be somewhere within the range that, again, it's still kind of recognizable. So here we go. Know how I coughed on the beat there? That's dedication. So that is Little Fantasy Study. That is one of the options. Then we will move on, and the next one that you would have as an option is Allegretto on page 202. So again, very similar to the Fantasy Study. If we kind of have an idea of these main key areas, which are our A minor with the full scale, and then we have these E major or E7 moments. Really is pretty straightforward. And the left hand has these kind of thirds. Basically throughout the entire thing. So you'll notice that the left-hand part is really, really simple. And then the beginning of each line features this kind of scale with the right hand, and then we have these little... So if you can master those individual elements, this one is really pretty simple. So again, marked Allegretto definitely can be, a little bit slower. And the tempo I'll give is definitely faster than you would need to do. But, again, make sure, just like the other one, 16ths should feel not like, quarter notes or half notes or something. So here we go with this one. that's that one right there. And, in terms of the exam, you definitely do not have to do the repeats on your song. If you feel like that works better for you and you like doing it that way, excellent. But if you feel like you get a really great take doing it one time, feel free to just go ahead and do the song without the repeats. All right, and then we have Etude on page 211. So again, this one is an awesome one to go through and play blocked chords. Practice it that way before kind of finding that rolling chord pattern. Noticing sort of just this pattern where we have the root position chord, then we open up the top two notes, bring those up a step, then we bring the whole thing down one step, then same thing, whole thing down one step. And again, in this one, very similar to a lot of the other ones that we've done, the first half and the second half are really, really similar. So make sure that you're noting those places that, oh, this is basically the same as something that I've already done, and that'll be really helpful. And here is this one through. And last but not least, for the solo rep, we have the cuckoo. So for this one, noticing that the left hand is basically exactly the same on the first half of the song and the last half. The only thing that's different is that very last measure, and it's barely different. It's almost exactly the same. And then the right hand, the notes in the beginning, so measure 1, we notice we have B, F sharp, B, F sharp. Well, when we go to measure 9, it turns into F sharp, B, F sharp, B. So it's basically the same two notes, they're just reversed now, and that it kind of matches. It's almost all of them, not exactly, but it's pretty close in each of those places right there. So just something to keep in mind to help make those notes a little bit easier. We do have those 30-second notes in measure 7 and measure 15. So be sure to just listen to this one to make sure that you're getting the rhythm on that one right if you find that a little bit difficult to count. So here we go with this one through. So that is the final solo rep option. So you will just pick one of those to perform. Again, I would say that that's probably the part of the exam, do not skip other things because they are all important. And also, kind of, if you think about it, this exam has a little bit fewer components. There's really just 3 components. So, that means that each component is weighted a little bit more heavily. If there's like 11 things on an exam, it's a little bit more not ever encouraging that you should skip something, but, each unit can only be worth so much. But on this one, definitely spend time on each one. But I would say that, the solo rep is something that you should definitely start working on well in advance. Choose the song that you want to do and make sure that you put in some time and practice strategies to make sure that it turns out really nicely. So then the last thing that you'll do is the Waves of the Danube harmonization. And for this one, you're just going to play the bottom two clefs, so the two bass clefs, which you'll play the bottom one with your left hand and the top bass clef with your right hand. So what I'll go through and do is just like I did in the last video, I'll play each one separately, but I'll go ahead and say the chord names as we go also for this time. So here is the accompaniment part. This is what you will play. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, go. C7, 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 change to F minor, F minor, F minor, F minor, change to B flat minor, only 2 measures here, back to F minor, only 2 measures again, back to C7, back to F minor, and just end on a low F. Now here is the melody. So you can practice along with it if you want, but what you need to turn in is just that part alone. 1, 2, 3, ready, go. C7, 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 F minor, F minor, F minor, F minor, B flat minor, B flat minor, F minor, F minor, C7, C7, F minor, F minor. And that's it. So again, like I said, this exam is pretty short and sweet. There's not really too much to it. So I would say that this is a great opportunity to put some really good time and effort into, the scale should be pretty easy. If you've been practicing your other scales and doing, a good job with those, this should not be too hard. The harmonization really shouldn't be too tricky. Again, if you've been working on your harmonizations for each weekly assignment, it shouldn't be so bad. And then the solo rep, just spend some good time working on that. And if you've been working on your reading exercises, shouldn't be too bad either. So that is what we have for the exam. As always, if you need a little bit more detailed instruction on anything, or if there's a video demonstration that's not on here that you feel like could be helpful, feel free to just let me know, and I'd be more than happy to make a little video of something. And you're also always welcome to join either me or Mr. Kierstead for office hours or something like that, or ask any questions. So get to practicing for this one, and we'll see you next time.